Welcome to another Howls and Growls breakdown. Today we're talking about how the Timberwolves destroyed the LA Clippers to take a huge Western Conference scalp and stay in the first seed. There were so many directions we could have gone with this breakdown. The Wolves were insane again defensively, and they got big nights from a number of individuals offensively. But I want to talk about the ball movement because it hasn't always been a strength of this team, and they excelled in that area in this game. On the night, the Wolves finished with 33 assists, and that's their 5th highest output of the season. And you can see from Kyle's tweet here, they're near on unstoppable when they do move the ball and generate good looks. And that's what teams have to do against a Clippers defense that is really strong and littered with defensive game changers. So I just want to run through some of the best ball movement possessions on the night and how they came about, because that really paints a picture of this team's ceiling when they're playing at their best offensively. So we start with this little corner action to open up that empty corner pick and roll that we talk about so often here. So Edwards curls up off this handoff, and as soon as Conley jogs off into the corner, he turns and jets off this pin down screen. Man is stuck behind him now, so Zubats has to step up here a little bit, and that means Gobert can slip in behind him. And the beauty of those empty corner actions is that there's no help there. It's 2-on-2 basketball, so when Gobert gets behind his defender, he has a free lane to the rim, and we know Conley is an expert at finding him on that lob pass. So we move into this horns action, and I love that they have Towns curling out of it into the corner over here off that exit screen, because even if they don't use him right away and the ball does swing around or Anderson's man comes to double read in the post here, Towns' gravity wrecks the defense. Westbrook stunts at him here, which opens up the pass to Alexander Walker, and then Leonard sells out the middle of the lane to cover a potential swing pass. Then Noor bursts into that same open lane and gets all the way to the rim for a nice finish. There isn't really anything overly complex there, but sticking to the simplistic really opens up a lot for a team with Minnesota's potential firepower, and the same goes for making the right play and not forcing things. The Wolves have been a high turnover team all season, and a lot of that is to do with their propensity to force things. Here's what happens when they keep it simple and just take what the defense gives them. You see Edwards tries to puncture the defense here, but as soon as Kawhi digs in here, he just makes that simple pass out to Towns. So now the defense is in rotation. That forces man up here to help. So Alexander Walker slips in behind him, and Towns finds him on that 45 cut to the rim. That's just smart, simple, and effective basketball, and that's the way you want to see this team play. But we also love to see the Wolves run smart set plays and add that extra structure to their team offense, and that's what we saw as well as the simple stuff in this game. So when Conley cuts through the middle here, he feints to go and set a flex screen for Edwards to cut baseline, but he's actually going to ghost it and curl up here off this Gobert down screen. Paul George is expecting the action to involve the cutting Edwards, so he's lingering around here out of position, and even with his great closeout speed, he's allowed Conley to get his feet set in an action that he's used to making shots out of. So that's not necessarily ball movement per se, but it's a really smart player movement, and both of those things go hand in hand with great offense. And just like we praised Edwards for reading the defense and making the simple play earlier, we have to do the same for Cat here. He's in isolation, but as soon as the double comes from Harden here, he spins out of it and makes the right read. Kawhi tries to shoot this gap on Conley, and that opens up the pass to Edwards. George has to come up to Edwards, and he makes that extra pass to the corner, and McDaniels is there as the open beneficiary of that tilted defense. Again, that's nothing special, but when you have someone like Towns who commands double teams like that, then you don't really need special, you just need to be alert and efficient in taking advantage of the open man. So Reed jets up here for a quick little 1-2 and then bursts out into space, Now he's got all of this room to flow into. Anderson makes that pass without hesitation. The Clippers don't have the size out there to defend the rim, and Nas squeezes through that gap for a lovely finish at the rim. And good lord, how sick is Nas Reed. The thing that I loved the most in this massacre was how the Wolves just destroyed LA when they overcommitted on the ball. We see it again here. Ant gets downhill on this drive. You've got Russ and PG shifting over to provide bodies in the way. So when PG backs off, he's still in the torture chamber trying to stay between these two shooters. The ball comes to Noor. This pump fake forces George to get his hands up to stop the extra pass, but that hesitation allows Alexander Walker to burn by him and finish with a dunk to put a nice little bow on this game. And at this point, I don't even think this needs to be said, but if Minnesota plays like this offensively, they're going to take some serious beating in the Western Conference. That's how good they are defensively. We haven't seen them string games like this together for a long stretch, so that's far from a guarantee, but I do think the signs are trending upward as we head into the All-Star break, and that's a scary sight for the league. Thanks again for watching Howls and Growls. Please subscribe for more.